88.1 The Burg, your music central. You are in the backyard burn with your boy Shane Dog and Noah Annette. Noah, how you doing today, my bud?
Pretty good, Shane. What's going on?
Man, I'm just out here surviving and thriving. I'm down here in California, holding it down in a bunker, Casa de la Peterson. Where are you at? Where are you staying at?
I'm in Lyman, Washington, which people from Washington don't even know where that is.
Well, I literally thought you were from Ferndale when I first asked you, and you're like, I guess that's like an hour away. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like
oh.
we're 45 minutes from Bellingham, so it's all right. I mean, it's like 400 to 500 people here. Not really much going on.
Yeah, no, I live in a pretty small town. I'm back up on my family's ranch, so we've been keeping it pretty tight and right up there and making sure nothing else has been going on. We got plenty of guns in case if anything goes south, but it's not even getting that bad down here. People thinking it's all crazy. But
Yeah,
this whole entire virus thing that we're all living in, it's been a big crazy deal, especially, some of the older people that we got. I know you and I have been talking interesting time for some of the grandparents out there right now.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. My grandpa Jerry, he used to go get coffee over at the bowling alley over where he's at, but then it got too expensive, so he switched places. So now he's like, "Oh, I got to go to a fast food location to get the coffee." And him and his buddies have been doing it for probably, I don't know, 30 years. And he can't go get coffee with his friends these days, so he's really upset about it.
My grandma is going stir crazy inside the house, and she is like trying to figure out ways to make excuses for her to be able to go out to Costco. That's like her big thing and her big thrill. She's trying to make masks and be like, oh, it'll be okay. And it's like, no, grandma, you're 89 years old.
No, geez.
Yeah. My other grandpa, he's the same age. He's a Vietnam veteran. So he's kind of a fearless dude. He just one day was like, yeah, I'm going to Home Depot. And it's just like, why? Why would you do that? Why are you going to a warehouse full of people and dust and germs and people coughing and sneezing? Even if it's not the virus, it might be, allergies, but you don't know. You can't take that risk. But,
Yeah, but
they've
Home
been.
Depot, the Home Depot over here is super busy with people just doing projects. The line like wraps around the store over here.
Yeah, this is a good time for everybody who just been sitting at their house. They've been starting to notice all the stuff that's wrong with their house because they're usually so busy with work and life. They've been sitting there going, I really probably should fix that. You probably could use a fresh coat of paint. I know that that's been going on a lot at my house, but it's kind of funny too because my grandparents, they're kind of getting a little bit stir crazy and they don't know really anything about media or news. So they start reading a bunch of stuff, and I got into a conversation with my grandma, and this is not factual at all. Just making that clear, making this statement. But my grandma was trying to tell me that this was chemical warfare from the Chinese government. And I had to stop her and be like, Grandma, where are you coming up with this stuff? And I literally did some background research, and she was looking up this stuff from like this crazy, crazy news source that was basically all about exposing the Communist Party in China. It's been around since like the 60s.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, whoa. Yeah, y'all need to like instead of reading, you should read about how to look up like good sources. There's a people coming around here. People are throwing around a lot of crazy stuff about this virus. People are saying all these crazy numbers. And I mean, it's affecting all of us. But I mean, in all reality, I'm actually doing pretty good with this whole entire thing. I've been enjoying the break.
Yeah, honestly, I've been figuring out ways to pass the time before really school started. I mean, just kind of just started back up for us. But I put 40 hours into one game the other day.
Lord.
Yeah, and it was like 5 days in a row. I just like kept going at it, and it was like game that's it was like it's Knights of the Old Republic. It's like super old Star Wars game compared to like our age for not being that old, but it like came out in the 2000s for the original Xbox. So I mean, it was pretty amazing that you could even put 40 hours into a game like that.
Yeah, you're hitting it with the throwback games. You're hitting it with the early 2000s. I've been going crazy. And one thing that I just really do when I get really crazy is I'm like one of those guys that likes to look up arts and crafts like a weirdo. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a little flex for you guys right here real quick. Check the custom sweatshirt. So this bad boy made out of bleach and an old sweatshirt that I was going to throw away. And now I'm probably never going to throw it away. Been getting all crafty. I made a tapestry. Might make it the background, but I'm thinking the solid black might be a nice touch. I don't know. I'm just working with what I got here. I
We'll
can't
see
really
where
go to
we
any
go.
Joann's fabrics right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who knows all sorts of fabrics that Joanne might have, but you know, she seems like a nice lady, Shane.
Yeah, she really is. It's one of the craft stores around where I'm from. Old Joanne, she's got the plug on all your craft needs.
88 won the Burg. Your Post Malone Central with March Music Mania. Oh my goodness. Shane Peterson is alongside me, Noah and Net, and we have got so much to talk about with this tournament that just concluded.
Absolutely. We've all been a little bit bored, and we've all been without sports, and with especially the absence of March Madness for some of us basketball fans. Us at 88 Won the Berg took it into our own hands to bring you March Music Mania, to bring in a big bracket of 64 songs to try to decide which song would be number one. And let me tell you, folks, I think me and Noah kind of have an opinion about what happened with that.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Post Malone songs in the final 4. I mean, he's fantastic, but the fact that that ended up being the way that it happened, pretty crazy to see that final 4. And I was rooting for the Black Bear song to go all the way, that 16 seed, but
Hot Girl Bummer, baby. That's a jam.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it was just pretty wild to see that.
yeah, the one thing that I think is really funny that, people don't know this unless if you're like inside the Berg or like worked in the music department. But earlier this year, after he dropped his newest album, Hollywood Bleeding, we basically destroyed our music scheduling like program. We had so many Post Malone songs inside of our system. And when people, people don't know this about radio, but we have software that basically makes sure that we try to not play the same artist back to back. So if you have a bunch of songs by the same artist, the computer's just going to start freaking out and not know where to put stuff and start having a meltdown. And we had a meltdown 100% based on Post Malone, just Post Malone alone, like literally Post Malone alone. That rhymes. How funny is that?
Oh my goodness.
He's literally it's crazy. And the weird part is like he makes it hard for us to not want to play him because I mean he's got good songs. The top 3 were Posty songs. And I'm sure everybody who's listening to this, they're like, hey, why are you guys ranting about Post Malone? Well, we have to because we have to just sit there and be like, oh, there's all this cool new stuff coming out. But no. Everybody likes Post Malone.
Yeah, I mean he had that song with Ozzy Osbourne too.
Well,
I'm blanking on the name right now.
Well, he did 2. He did
2 of them, yeah.
He did Take What You Want. That was on his album, Hollywood Bleeding. And then Ozzy just dropped his new album, and he's featuring on one of their songs called It's a Raid. And that song, if you guys haven't heard that song, that's probably my favorite Post Malone song ever, just because it's not even anything that you've ever heard him do. It's a very good rock and roll song, being the rock and roll kid at heart that I am. So if you guys really want to go check that out, I would. And guys, one thing that you should know, so we all love Post Malone. Even though that we're sitting here ranting, we've got Post Malone with his song Circles, the winner of March Music Mania, here on your Music Central. 88 won the Berg, your Music Central. You are still in the burn with your boy Shane Dog and Noah and Net. Now, Noah, we have been sitting here talking about a lot of stuff, and one thing that I think is very apparent that we need to share to all these good people listening is we need to talk about some of the new sports that we have been discovering, because there's been a lot of sports that people haven't been talking about, but due to all this virus work and all this stuff not happening, we've been blessed with some awesome new sports.
Yeah, esports are taking over right now. So for the first time ever, the League of Legends North America tournament is being broadcasted on ESPN2, and it's live broadcasted. It's been pretty much a rerun for kind of any league thing they've put up on any platform like that. But that's the highest that League of Legends has ever reached. And it's also the first time that ESPN will allow its streaming devices, like just on the ESPN app. You can watch the League of Legends matches on the ESPN app as well. So it's just a huge deal. There's this big contract worth a lot of money that just got put out because ESPN's kind of hurting right now.
I can imagine. I mean, they're scrounging. A lot of people are scrounging. And I think it's funny that, right now in a time where everybody's scrounging and hurting, like some of these industries, like video gaming and some of this stuff, like League of Legends, they're owned by Blizzard, correct?
Um, Riot Games
Oh, they're owned by
is
Riot.
who owns them. Yeah.
Those Riot and Blizzard are the two biggest ones in the esports world for basically, putting together the best games that have all this big stuff. I know you're talking about League of Legends. There's tons of other stuff that people go nuts over, especially Overwatch. Overwatch was the big one this past year that everybody got crazy about. And I actually watched the Overwatch World Championship. And let me tell you, I've always thought it was weird watching people play video games. I'm kind of the old man in that aspect. But let me tell you, I was getting juiced watching some of this stuff. And I don't even play the game. I didn't know anything that was going on, but I was juiced watching some of the stuff that was going on. I don't know any of the characters. They had like the hamster dude rolling around.
The hamster dude. Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. What's his name?
I think that one's I don't know. I don't know Overwatch that well, but
you're letting me down. You're the esports guy.
I'm just not an Overwatch guy. I'm more of a League guy. But
I feel that. I feel you.
I want to say it's Diva, but I don't want to be wrong. That's the thing. That's the only name that's popping in my head.
I know which one's Diva because that's the one that they always have to make the one video game character that's supposed to be the super hot chick that's supposed to kick everybody's butt. That's who Diva is. Okay. Yeah, I know who that is. Yes, he's got blue hair, like a pink jumpsuit. I always love some of these characters that they come up for, like different characters to fight people. They always just try to like represent every random type of person in the world for some of these fighters, and it is outstanding.
The names get me going. There's this one that they just reworked in League of Legends, and it's called Fiddlesticks, and it's a scarecrow. And it used to be kind of like the most non-threatening scarecrow there ever is. And then they just went a complete 360 horror aspect on it now. And it's like actually a scary thing to fight.
That sounds like a scarecrow that I'd want to keep as far away from children as possible with a name like that.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks. Yeah, no thanks. Not happening. Oh, man. But you know what? Something else that's pretty interesting that I've noticed that's also been coming out is some of the weird sports that you see on ESPN Ocho. Like something that I recently got into that I think is amazing. I think I would also be really good at this. I think I could have a future in this is belly flop contests. I am a stud at landing flat in water. I always hurt myself in water more than anywhere else. So I think that I would be prime to start a career in belly flopping. Usually some of these guys have pretty big guts on them. So I'd be at a disadvantage, but I can work on some flexibility, like stretch it out, pull my arms back. I think I have a career in it.
Yeah, I was watching some classic Tetris, and I'm talking like original Tetris on the Ocho. There's the classic Tetris World Championships over in Portland, Oregon, and
of course,
yeah, I know it's pretty crazy. It's been getting bigger every year. So anyway, so it's been going on for about around 9 years, and the thing that just one day I was watching it and I was like, okay, I can do this. Tetris can't be that hard. It's just a simple game. I go and try to play Tetris and I'm like, I am awful at Tetris. I just kept losing. And it's not that I don't know how the shape is supposed to be oriented. It's that my fingers just don't go fast enough for me to be able to put the piece where it needs to go.
Oh, man. I will say one last thing. The best sport by far that is the best to watch at home when you're super bored. It sounds stupid at first, but just do it. Just invest your time in watching it. Is bowling. Have you ever watched a good game of bowling?
I've watched actually a lot of different bowling games. Say I'm like at a restaurant or something, and I'm just like looking at the TV, and there's usually like bowling on if you're at kind of an off hour, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty challenging because I'm a consistent like 100 bowler, which is not good, and I feel pretty proud of that when I go out bowling, but them getting around 280, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I'm about a 120 average type of guy. So, I'm my worth in like what I am, like bowling wise, I'm a terrible bowler. Like it's not worth my time, but you know what the best part about them is the celebrations. You can't sleep on bowler celebrations. Those guys get pumped. And I think that it's the best part about the whole entire thing. It's like watching the NFL celebrations, but they just got the court. They got their weird shoes on. They have a polo with that looks like a NASCAR. It's got all the sponsors plastered all over it. It looks gnarly.
Also, don't sleep on darts. Darts is a pretty good one too. I'm a big fan of watching the dart competitions, and they celebrate just like the bowlers with a little with the arm, you know.
I have invested some time in the darts. And guys, you should all invest some more time into some of the darts as well. And if you guys have any cool, interesting sports that you've viewed, you should just text into us and we could talk about it more at 509-963-2311. Back in the burn, 88.1 the Burg, your music central. You're still here with your boy Shane, Dog Peterson, and your boy Noah Annette. And guys, the pile is getting low. We are coming to the end of our hour today, and it has been a great one. Noah, it's great been talking to you, man.
Yeah, it's been a time. I mean, we're just when the fire's getting low, it's time to simmer it down.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a crazy week for both of us, the start of school. I know that's something you and I both have been talking about a lot. This has been wild, transitioning online.
Yeah, I have a Zoom class right now. I don't really know how that's going to work out. Like, I understand Zoom. I can get it to work, but it's really awkward. It was very silent, but we're going to see how, if it gets better, if it gets worse, I'll keep it, some more updates going as we get along.
Absolutely. And guys, everybody, if you want to listen to some more music that you don't hear on our show, if you got any ideas you want to send our way, hit my social up at ShaneDog6 on Instagram. Noah, hit him with your social.
It's Noah with a W
Noah.
and underscore and then like Annette, like how you would spell like the female name Annette, like most girls have it. So Annette, like as the. Yeah.
If that wasn't a good enough explanation for you folks, I'll be able to get some more tags with him inside my post. Please send us your ideas, and please remember you can hit us up at 881 The Burg on all social medias, Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook as well. And guys, thank you for coming into the Backyard Burn. We hope you can join us again.